Simmons got paid. Simmons got treated as well as you could in that town by everybody. And because he couldn't make plays in the playoffs and people had the gall to point out that he was passing up on layups and dunks because he can't make a bucket and couldn't hit a free throw to save his life, he's upset, so he wants to leave. Get out. The faster, the better.
Fortenbaugh fired up on this. So let me ask you, though.
I come from the Iverson era, bro. I come from the Iverson era. Allen Iverson is an all-timer. That guy was all guts. Simmons has none of that. So in that town, it's not going to fly.
Joe,
it's really not.
Where were you born and raised?
Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Is it possible to say I come from the Iverson era without saying bro afterwards? Because, you need that emphasis. I come from the Iverson era, bro. You are 1,000% right. But let me. I
needed you to understand.
Yeah.
I thought by adding the bro, it brought just a little bit of, that little extra dollop of hot sauce on the taco really lets you bring home the kick.
It does, but here's my question. Do we believe that every GM in the entire NBA forgot to watch the playoffs? Because if you watch the playoffs and you're watching Ben Simmons, legit, if you are the GM of the 76ers and I'm the GM of every other team and you call me and you say, hey, Ben Simmons, I'm laughing. I'm literally laughing because now you as the GM, I know he's never going to play there. They're making it apparent he'll never go back, so you've lost leverage there. I also saw him not take that dunk. I also saw him not be aggressive. I saw him not take opportunities when he had opportunities. And so all of a sudden, you're looking at a situation where I, as the other GM, am saying, all right, I will give you, I don't know, an off-brand corn chip that you wish was Fritos, but it's slightly stale. You wish it was the actual corn chip, and then I'm giving you, the dip from the fridge to go with it. That's you got to check the date on the side because when you took the lid off, it's separated, and now you're not sure. Is that ranch smell or is that funk? You don't know. You're stirring it with a spoon.
One right now.
I'm giving you the stale chips and the separated ranch dip, and I'm saying, how about that for a return? By the way, Woj also reporting Simmons. This is the next tweet from Woj. Why you got to follow him at Woj ESPN. Simmons is clearly aware of sanctions available to organization to fine and suspend him, including withholding of salary. But so far, Simmons appears willing to carry out a plan of forcing his way to a new team. Sixers have yet to find a trade they're willing to make for him because they don't want stale chips and separated ranch.
Well, the thing with Simmons is it's not like he's a bum, right? He's an elite defender. He can bring a lot to your team, but this is going to jam the Sixers up bad right here because when you know the guy has told the team, I'm done, I'm never playing for you again, players like this, they have all the leverage and all the power, and the Sixers are going to end up getting back nickels on the dollar. Fine, get him out of town. Seriously, get him out of town and move on. It's Embiid's team. Embiid's the guy everyone wants to rally around. That was probably part of Simmons' problem, where Embiid's out there injured, putting up 30 and 17. Simmons can't hit a free throw and has to get yanked off the court in the final 4 minutes because he's a liability. So shoot your shot, Ben. Shoot your shot. Hopefully for your sake, in a rare occurrence, it actually goes in.
So let me... That's well played.
Boom.
Joe Fortenbaugh, Jason Fitz, in for Mike Greenberg on Greeny on ESPN Radio. So let's play one of my favorite games. Joe, you're married, so you understand this. Shoes on the other foot game. This is where we sit there and we reverse scenarios. Now, all of a sudden, we're on the shoes on the other foot, right? What fan base is going to be happy giving up something of value for Ben Simmons in return? How are you selling that? If you covered Golden State, you're very familiar with this team. You talked about them all the time, and I've seen some of the speculation that Golden State could be a trade partner, right? Are you really happy if you're a Warriors fan with Ben Simmons? Is that the difference maker for you?
I think it's a split. I think you'd have fans that'd be excited because the thing that Philadelphia needed Simmons to do every now and again was knock down a bucket. The Warriors don't need that. The Warriors have shooting. They have Steph Curry. Klay Thompson's coming back from injury. You have guys who can score on that team. Simmons comes in as a facilitator, drive and kick, play elite defense on the other end of the floor. That's something you can get behind because you don't need him. In the rare occurrence, you don't need him to come in as a guard and knock down shots. You can bring him in and let him do all the things he wants while deferring to everyone else. If he's okay with that, he would fit. And I think Warrior fans would understand that that could work too. They just didn't want to give up too much in return. The good news is that this price tag isn't going to be as high as everyone expects because ultimately everyone knows he's on his way out the door, so the Sixers only have so much leverage here.
So I've just done a quick search of the World Wide Web from some Warriors fan sites that are giving me what they would get back in return. So you as a 76ers fan would get in this instance would get Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. You're jumping at that, right?
Oh, I mean, the 2 first-round picks with the NBA, you never know with these guys. It's so hit and miss. But you get 2 first-round picks. Wiggins has developed nicely in Golden State. He's taken the next step. I think the problem is we look at Wiggins as the former number 1 overall pick, and we expect him to play like that. He's not that guy. He's not that good, but he does have a skill set. Jordan Poole, hit or miss. I think they expected more from him in Golden State, and he never really panned out. I don't think that trade's the end of the world. I really don't think there's going to be a lot coming their way. If I had it my way, I'd trade him for almost nothing, send him to Minnesota, and see how he likes that weather in the winter.
Oh, my God. You do a spot. By the way, Jordan Peele.
Spike trade,
I'm more of a Jordan Peele guy than a Jordan Poole guy. I'm just saying that's a personal preference. Everybody's got
He's had a lot of success.
Not a big fan of the newest Candyman. But anyway, I digress. But you would spike trade. So
yes.
There's an advantage to a spike trade here. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's a couple of things about a spike trade that could actually work. One, if you trade him to Minnesota, the draft picks you get for him are going to have more value, right?
They'll be elite. You know they will be.
You know you're going to get something there. And then 2, you send a message like, all right, you want to be gone, then we'll get you out of here. I'm not sure, though, is it a great sales pitch to Philly fans if it's like, hey, we're not getting anything real back. We're just getting future and a spite. Like, is that fan base good with the spite trade?
It's why I can't be a general manager, because I would execute the spite trade. The problem is this would never go through, because if Simmons doesn't accept it, Minnesota's not going to want to make the trade. No one wants to be Detroit getting Blake Griffin, right? You think the guy's going to come in and revitalize you, and he's just going to check out until he can find his way out of town.
I love the idea of a player coming in saying, I will not play here. You cannot make me. And then it's like, all right, cool, we're sending you to the G League. Like, I just love some concept of all of this. And then the other side of it is, if I'm Philly, I also don't hate the concept of fining him to death.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.